Oh. You come running this way. Sit at that end.
He's over.
Got the coach.
Oh. Not that important, man. I don't need one. You're good.
Okay.
No, Junior.
All right, we've got Terry Nolan Jr. Is it Maceo? Am I saying it right? Maceo? Maceo, I'm sorry. Jack from George Washington, along with the head coach, Maurice Joseph. Coach, if you will give us an opening statement, and then we're going to take questions for the student athletes first. Please raise your hand. We've got microphone holder right here, too. We'd like you to use your mic. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, I want to give credit to UMass first. I thought they did a great job. They came out extremely prepared. We came out in our 2-3 zone, which was very successful for us in the first game, and they made some tremendous adjustments, so credit to them for that. They shot us out of our zone really quickly. Clerigo came out, played really, really well for them, but our guys were gritty. You know, when we went down double digits, we didn't waver. We continued to guard. And we did a great job just weathering the storm. You know, we talked about every 4 minutes, just chop away at it, chop away at it, chop away at it, and our guys did that. So I'm really, really proud of them. It's a monster win for us. I told our guys that we got to go 1-0 on whatever is next. You know, so UMass was our Super Bowl. Now we get a chance to compete against UMass, against Mason again, and we're excited about that opportunity. So we're going to get back. We're going to prepare, try to get healthy, get some food in us, and get right back to the grind. So really proud of our guys.
Questions for the student athletes? Yes, ma'am, in the front row.
Terry, you haven't, played in the last couple of games. How does it feel for you to kind of come out tonight after having those last games off and, put up 20 points and kind of, score some key points for you guys to be able to move forward?
It felt great. I was battling a foot injury, which I still am today, but, I couldn't miss this game. I couldn't let my team down. So I'm just happy that we got the win today.
Questions? Student athletes? Another one? Go ahead.
Yeah. It was mentioned a little bit earlier that they did come out 22-11 lead at one point. What was kind of going right for them just in terms of having those shots fall, and then what adjustments did you make, especially on the defensive end, to kind of hold them to 8 points in those last 10 minutes of play or so?
Well, we switched to a man defense, and I was able to push them off the three-point line, and we did a really good job locking in on that and pushing them off that line, and therefore their shots weren't falling as well as they were in the beginning of the game. So once we switched out of that zone, it was really successful for us, and we were able to go on a run.
Yeah, absolutely. But it wasn't the crispest shooting night for you guys. How much of today's win can be, I guess, credited to your guys' defense and your ability to make stops and kind of get them off balance?
The entire game. I mean, we predicate winning on defense. Offense wins games. Defense wins championships.
Questions for the student athletes? Right here in the back.
Even though you didn't make that shot attempt at the half, how instrumental was it to gain the momentum going into the locker room and coming out in the second half of the game?
It definitely gave us some energy going into the halftime. We've struggled coming out in the start of the second half, so that definitely gave us a push in order to come out aggressive and come out strong and come out with some force. And that was able to propel us to go on the runs we did and to play as hard on defense as well as we did. So it was definitely instrumental.
Any other questions for the student athletes? If not, gentlemen, I'm going to release you back to the locker room. Of course, the locker room will remain open for 30 minutes, but that counts the time that we are in this room. We'll proceed with questions for Coach Joseph. Question right front row.
You mentioned the fact that UMass kind of shot you guys out of that zone early. What did UMass do differently offensively to kind of start the game for them to kind of take advantage of some of the holes in your zone?
They did a great job screening our top guys, and then on the overloads, we didn't do a great job of corralling ball screens and getting out the shooters. They ran some of the same plays. They tweaked some, but it was mainly the ball screens on the inside top guy of our 2-3 zone and our inability to navigate those ball screens. So we tried to get under them a couple times, but when you have Holloway setting those screens, it's a tall task to get over him, get under him. He's a big guy down there. So we transitioned out of it and went to the man, and that's when we got on our run. I think they scored 8 points in the last 14 minutes or something like that. So we did a great job kind of weathering the storm after they came out really hot.
Questions? Right here? Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. You know, it was a little bit of a slow shooting night for you guys. How much of that was, you know, Massachusetts having a really strong defense, and how much of that was just unlucky shots not going, or shot selection, or things like that?
I always think it's a little bit of both. I thought we got some really good looks. You know, Juice got a wide open one. He's not one of our knockdown guys, but he got a wide open look. You know, we ran that play for Maceo to get a wide open look, and he got that look. That's a shot that, you know, we've seen him hit a bunch. It just rimmed out. You know, Mel got a couple, DJ got a couple, so it was a little bit of both. We got some good looks. We didn't force too many. I didn't think. A couple we did, but for the most part, I thought we executed and got good looks. We just didn't shoot the ball terribly well. And for the first time in this arena, you know, getting on the floor an hour before the game, you know, you don't get shoot around time, so getting used to the background and the balls and the rims and all that kind of stuff. You know, you can make all the excuses in the world. Maybe that had a little bit to do with it, but I'm just happy that our guys defended. You know, we can't control when the ball goes in the hole or not, but we can control our attention to detail to the scouting report, our effort defensively, our grit, our toughness, our enthusiasm about getting stops. All those things are in our control, and I thought we controlled those things after we got out of the zone. Yeah.
Back here on the...
Coach, obviously, going off of what you just said, everybody obviously wants buys in these kind of tournaments, but can you just stress the importance of getting out there, becoming a little bit more comfortable, and most importantly, getting a win on this court?
I mean, this time of year, as you guys know, it's you just got to go 1-0 in whatever is next. You know, you can't worry about buys or Cs, or, you know, you play the regular season for that. And then at the end of the season, you evaluate where you're at, and you attack it with everything you have, and that's what we've been able to do in these last 3 days of preparation leading up to this game. So we're just excited that we had an opportunity to come out here, and I think playing gives us an upper hand a little bit. You know, you think about fatigue and all that, but now we got one under us, and now we're going to go and prepare for the next one and try to go 1-0 again. But the buys and the seeds and all that kind of stuff, obviously you don't want to be playing on Wednesday. Nobody wants to be playing on Wednesday, let's be honest, but that's where we were. So we had to go attack where we were at and what we had to do and attack that obstacle, and we did that tonight. So, again, really proud of our guys for winning on the defensive end and winning with grit and winning with toughness, because those are the things that we've been preaching from day one. Obviously, we didn't shoot the ball well. We shot 31%, but we limited them to 35% shooting. We out-rebounded them by 5. They had more turnovers than we did, so we did a lot of really good things outside of obviously, we didn't shoot the ball well, but just proud of our guys, their effort.
I'll take 2 more. Gentlemen here, and then the lady in the blue.
You talked about rebounding. What did you guys do as well to be able to out-rebound them 50-45 and also get those 18 offensive rebounds?
Well, going into this game, we watched the Richmond game where Holloway had 28 points and 12 offensive rebounds, and we played that for our guys and say, hey, we need 5 guys to rebound. It can't be Marcus down there. It can't be just Javi down there. We need multiple guys. We got a gang rebound. We got to have that mentality that every time a shot goes up, we can't let Holloway just play volleyball around the rim, because he's a load down there. So it was a collective effort. You look down the line, Missoula, didn't shoot the ball great, but 9 rebounds. Javi, tall task to guard Holloway, 11 rebounds. You got DJ 6, Mace 5, Juice 8. So we had multiple guys come in and impact the glass, and that's what we needed. We needed a collective effort on the glass, and we did that because Lord knows you can't just try to keep Holloway off the glass by yourself. He's a load, and he still got 12 rebounds. And we were scratching and clawing and hanging off his jerseys and doing everything we could, and he still got 12. So I credit that kid. I've seen him transition with his body and become a really good player from when he was a freshman. So. I'm glad our guys really got the message about gang rebounding, because we certainly needed it.
Last question. Go ahead, ma'am.
You guys are tomorrow facing off against George Mason again. 3rd time this year you'll see them. How much, I guess, is that familiarity of being able to see them in action and having those 2 games under your belt help with preparing for tomorrow in just you guys' game?
I think it helps a lot. Obviously they're going to be a little fresher in terms of rest time from our last game, but the great thing about tournaments and one-day preps and having played guys, teams in the A10 season is you have familiarity, you've done the scout before, you understand their personnel, and we've played these guys so recently that for preparation purposes, it's not going to be a major adjustment. Like we just played them, so that's a silver lining for us in this scenario. So obviously they beat us twice. I thought in their gym we played well in the first half, and we came out in the second half and had 9 turnovers in 9 minutes in their gym. So we obviously didn't handle the ball well, and it was still a close game. I thought we guarded really well, and we just missed some open shots in our gym the other day. You know, it came down to the glass and guarding the basketball. We didn't do a good job there of keeping Livingston and Kyer out of the paint, so we're going to have to make some adjustments there. But the familiarity, because of how recently we played them, is a good thing for us, because now we could go back, get some food, and hey, we just played these guys last week. Let's jump right into the prep. Let's jump right into the adjustments we need to make. Let's get some rest, let's recover, and let's go attack tomorrow with everything we have.
Coach, thank you very much. We'll
All
let
right.
him go back to the
Thanks,
locker
guys.
room for those of you who need additional interviews, and we should have UMass in here momentarily. Hi, Chapman, Keon Clairgeau, did I say that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And head coach Matt McCall. We will go to questions, opening statement from the coach first, and then again take your questions for the student athletes first.
Obviously, very disappointed with the ending, that it's over. And, you know, really looking back and seeing, you know, all the things that have transpired up to this point that have gotten us at this point in the season. And there's been a lot of losses over the last 2 years. You know, to end it that way, I thought we had great effort. I thought our guys really went out there and tried. Obviously, undermanned, foul troubled, a number of different things. But you know, really, you know, it's disappointing. But I think that, you know, as a leader, as a coach, you got to go through these experiences to see exactly what your program needs, and it's never fun. But, you know, I think that our guys will become better, and, you know, we need a lot more positivity, you know, in our program. And in order to win and win at a high level, you got to get 12, 13, 14 guys that are completely connected and about all the right things and completely bought in, and, you know, with everything that we're doing. So, you know, as far as the game, again, I thought we had good effort. I thought the offensive glass really hurt us in the free throw line. We did a poor job at the end of at the end of regulation, executing twice. You know, drew up two different actions there. One, we were trying to get Carl Pierre coming off a wide screen set by Rashawn and allow him to create a little bit there. And then was trying to get Keon off a double pick and roll at the end of regulation, trying to get him in the lane and screen away for Carl for a shot. So did a really poor job executing twice there at the end of regulation. But again, I thought our effort was really good. But, you know, the energy level, the positivity in our program, you know, being 100% completely bought in with everything we're doing, that needs to happen now.
Questions for Sy or Keon? Gentlemen, right here first, and then we'll take this guy.
Keon, obviously their zone kind of gave you guys a little bit of trouble a couple weeks ago back at their place. What did you guys do so well in the early part of this game to kind of really shoot them out of that zone?
We just came out there to play hard at the beginning, but then we just really just came flat at the second half. We just need to keep playing hard, but, you know, very disappointed that how it ended.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Keon, I'm sure the loss really overshadows the career high 25, but with Pip out and Carl struggling and guys in foul trouble, did it seem like the scoring load came on you today? Did it seem like you needed to pick up that slack, so to speak?
Just play hard. That's just all my mindset. Always been my mindset. Just go out there and play hard.
Other questions for the athletes? Yes, sir.
So how do you feel like your role has kind of evolved over these past couple weeks? Because, you know, obviously before Jerry got here, you were playing a lot of the 5. Then Jerry comes here, and you know, I know Coach is trying to find you some playing time at the 4, at the 5. How do you feel like your role has kind of evolved now that you kind of settled into this groove here?
I mean, I think at the beginning of the season, I started off mainly playing the 5, just because that was a spot that needed a person to play. And once the Jerry came, they're like trying to move me to the 4 and just working on stuff like that. So like my role, I think right now is just go in the game, play hard, go rebound, defend. So if I just do that well.
Yes, go ahead.
Sy, what happened on that final play in overtime where you grabbed the rebound?
I came down on my ankle and ended up rolling it. Yeah.
Was there did you get hit or anything going up, or?
I mean, I guess the refs didn't think I got hit, so.
Yes, sir, go ahead, and right here.
Sy, did you have some idea that you and Trey were going to get so much run today, and do you think it was a kind of a big opportunity for you two freshmen to kind of grow on a stage like this?
Yeah, like we always talked about like just playing together and all that. So like knowing that we're undermanned, like we knew we were going to play a lot, and we just came in the game focused.
Any other questions for the student athletes? We'll make this the last one. Go ahead.
I think for either guys, I mean, Coach McCall was just kind of talking about sort of the importance of this offseason coming up for this program. How do you I guess kind of grade how important this offseason is for you guys, kind of building into next year?
Positivity, bringing a lot of positivity.
And I think this summer could be huge, like just for us and the team. If everybody gets better and we become more connected over the summer, next year we're going to have a lot better result at the end of the season.
Gentlemen, thank you. We'll let you go back to your locker room, and now we'll take additional questions for the coach, please. Gentleman in the back.
Coach McCall, judging from what you said in your opening statements, it seems like you were alluding to that possibly there were times during the year that everybody didn't buy into what you were trying to teach, and there wasn't always a positive attitude. Could you expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I look at a guy like Rashawn Holloway, and Lawan Pipkins and Unique McLean, especially those 3 guys. Those guys have been through a lot. And coaching change and, me getting hired at the timing I did with everything that transpired, and, really try to do it as well as I possibly could to build trust with those three guys, and especially just because of them coming back. And then you add in an influx of other players, transfers, a couple freshmen, and there was kind of a roller coaster year last year. We'll fast forward into this year, and you have all these guys sitting out, and human nature is what's going to be easy because we have more guys. It's not easier. It's harder. And you have to have more buy-in, and you have to work harder. You're not just going to snap your fingers and get to the Atlantic 10 tournament and think you're going to rope off 5 games in a row. And I think at times, maybe when it didn't go well or my own individual expectations as a player aren't met, it's easy to say you're not bought in or have a negative attitude. That's what you're dealing with 18, 19, 20-year-old guys at times, especially when you're dealing with rebuilding a program. And that's what we're doing. And I think for me as a leader, I've said this to these guys before that are at every single one of our press conferences, I've been spoiled. I've been spoiled. I was on a bench for 2 national championships. I've been an assistant coach in the Final Four, SEC championships. I was a head coach in the NCAA tournament, won a regular season title and a conference. I've been spoiled. And sometimes you've got to go through this stuff to see exactly what needs to be done. And that's where I'm at. And hasn't been fun. It's been the most challenging 2 years of my life, but I've become a better coach and a better leader because of it. And, we've got to have an influx of positivity in our program, from the staff to the players to everyone, completely bought in and in a foxhole together with everything that we're doing. And now we're a connected unit. Now you can talk about taking off and doing something special.
Go ahead, sir.
Better day today for the effort after up and down this season. Seemed like Keon especially was really laying it on the line today. Do you think that helped the rest of the team to see that from him?
Really, I thought there was a lot of guys that brought that effort. Keon brings that the majority of the time. I've known him since he was in the 9th grade. He's always played the game with such a chip on his shoulder and with such passion. It was part of the reason I was so adamant about wanting him to come here when he decided to leave Memphis. Not necessarily, and he's a talented player, but it was more about that. And we need more of that. The other young man that's sitting right next to me, last year at this time, he's 17 years old, and he's playing a state championship game in the state of Minnesota. And we've thrown a lot at him over these last 12 months. And also adjusting to college as a freshman. And his development through the year, I've been really, really proud of, and going to be a big, big piece of this program going forward. He has that positivity that I'm talking about. And I thought he gave us a lift early in the game. He got in foul trouble, but I thought everybody was into it. I thought a couple mistakes we made there. The ball was going through the net, which helped our energy level. But I thought these 2 guys, especially in our starting 5, brought tremendous energy today.
Go ahead, sir.
Matt, you talked Monday to me about sort of wanting to kind of learn from the Richmond game how to execute versus zone. Obviously, you guys shot him out of the zone fairly quickly. What was sort of the biggest difference in terms of how well you guys were able to execute versus their zone versus when they went to the man for the last, 40-ish minutes of the game?
Yeah, I mean, we did a tremendous job, executing versus that zone. And then when they switched and went man-to-man, we got stagnant. We were trying to fire the ball in there to Rashawn. Their post doubles on him caused them to have some turnovers, which allowed them to get out on the break some. But we've been executing man-to-man. We're always talking to these guys when we run pick and rolls, you got to slow down and take a breath if you're a guard. I mean, how many illegal screens do we have in the first half? 3 or 4? Those guards got to stop, wait a second, have a good setup, and then come off the pick and roll. We were just such in a rush. But I thought we did a better job executing in the second half versus their man. I just thought the last 2 possessions in regulation, we did a really poor job executing. We draw up an action. We were trying to kind of get a misdirection and hit JL at the elbow there and have Rashawn widescreen on Carl. It was either going to be Carl coming off for a shot or get Rashawn a post up. And then we were just trying to run a double pick and roll there with the whole floor space to get Keon going to his right hand and then stagger away for Carl. And we didn't execute either one of those. And then the end of the overtime, we did a better job, and Carl got fouled there. You know, we go 10 for 22 from the free throw line. And you know, they shot 36 free throws to our 22. That's a huge discrepancy. But we can't go 10 for 22. If we make 6 more and we go 16 for 22, we win the game.
We have a question right here, and then this will be the last one.
Matt, I mean,
I'm sorry.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Having kind of some of the young guys get a lot of run out there and throughout the course of the season, kind of giving them the growing pains. I mean, how much does that mean to those guys going into a summer where, you know, a lot of development is possible?
This is the most important summer since I've been here in a lot of different ways. There's just been so much going on and so much roster turnover over the last 2 years. Who we bring into our program right now with the guys that will be coming back. This is a huge, huge summer. It's a huge summer work-wise. It's a huge summer for us to become a real team, a connected team, where everybody's pulling and everybody's rooting for each other. It was tough losing Samba. Samba, like Keon, like Cy, brings this energy level to us, plays the game with such tenacity and ferociousness. Him not being able to play these last 6, 7 games, whatever it was. I think the last game he played in was Davidson, which was a huge win for us. Not having him down the stretch, I would have liked to have had him. One, because he's a really good player. Two, for what you're talking about. But this is the most important summer since I've been here as a head coach for our program going forward. And it's time that this program take a huge, huge step forward because we've been getting knocked back and getting our teeth set in, and it's time that we march forward.
Last question. Go ahead, sir.
I feel like after each win this year, you brought up the assist total and ball movement. To only get 7 assists tonight, was that just a product of the stagnant offense?
I'd love to see how many of those were in the first 5 minutes of the game. We missed some guys at times. We turned it over some there on post doubles when the ball was going into Rashawn. Had some bad turnovers. Had some chances to make some game-winning plays down the stretch. We missed a charge there on a baseline drive. It was a loose ball that we didn't come up with. But I thought our ball movement was really, really good in the first half, and I thought their adjustment to go man-to-man, our guys kind of got taken off guard a little bit. But again, that's an inconsistent team. And to me, that goes back to culture, that goes back to buy-in, that goes back to being a connected team 100%. And, I've said this 1,000 times. I take ownership for where we are. And we're going to get it right. We're going to get it fixed. We're going to get it corrected. And, the 12, 13 guys that'll be out there for UMass are going to be 12, 13 guys that have an unbelievable amount of appreciation for the opportunity to play at this school each and every day.
Thank you, Coach, very much. We'll let him
Thank
go
you.
back to the locker room. If you need further interviews, please get with their SID. Thank you again.